Turn it up. You're listening to Live and Loud with the Lord, Nelson, that is.
That's right between my eyes. The fall of coming there. I feel the darkness creep and access. You can't fight this. Liberation is coming soon. Lockdown will not 6 months ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It is the big guy with the big show, the Lord. Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed. From Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with 5 Royals Entertainment. And ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 special guests today. And we're going to talk about their music and all the things that they do and what makes them so great. But before we get into it with them, I have to read a little something about them. Listening to their catalog, I got to write up a little something. So I'm going to do what I do. So ladies and gentlemen, my next guests represent rock and roll to the fullest. No need to question who they are. Their music moves you. Whether it's headbanging, dancing, or just bobbing your head, you're going to feel their outstanding music and vocals. Yes, indeed. Blessed with those classic rock elements with a splash of the now and in between, they bring an incredible sound and vibe that gets you going. It gets you going, yeah. So I am honored to have an opportunity to chop it up with them. And without further ado, I welcome for you, Tyler and Zach. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tyler and Zach of the amazing band Accidents at Sundown, man. Welcome, man.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for
Yes,
that.
indeed. So
Yeah,
the first
seriously, can you
question
just
always
join
is,
us?
where are you guys from?
I mean, we're both from Concord. Pretty much everybody in the band grew up in Concord, California.
925.
So they're
Yeah.
like NorCal?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes from San Francisco.
Oh, okay,
So yeah, we all grew up there, and that's like the suburban area of like the Bay Area, basically.
The Bay Area, man. I've been there once, came out there to hang out with Relentless Ryan. And during his wedding, I was the officiant at his wedding.
Oh, no way. That's crazy.
Honored, man. I don't know if you guys saw that video, man. It was really amazing.
I'd love to see that video. I feel like you'd kill it.
Well, listen, that's my brother, man. We're family, born on the same day, man, and that's my brother. There's no doubt about it. So, what's the best thing about being from Concord?
I think that it's close to everything. And I don't know, it's kind of one of those like in between, like, you don't have a bunch of rich, like yuppie people, it's like people that are down to earth and cool to be around. And, I just grew up skating all over Concord, and it definitely like has a place in my heart for sure. I love Concord.
Got you.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Like it's someone always I used to be like an elderly caregiver a long time ago. And this one woman was like, this is the best place to be if like you're a musician. You can go to San Francisco, you can go to San Jose. It's like easy access to everywhere pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, it was cool.
Well, that segues right into this next thing. So why do you feel California is such a hotbed for amazing music and musicians?
Yeah, man.
Kind of got you led me right into it. I love that.
I think it's well, it's different. I think all sectors of California are unique themselves. I would say there's a lot of like Northern California bands that aren't well known, and it's hard for Northern California bands to become well known. Right. Because it's everybody always constantly thinks it's like down in LA. That's where you need to be be creating the newest music, the best music. And it's really competitive there. Actually, we went down there and we played a couple shows, or a show actually. And, you could kind of feel that like competitive spirit in everybody, because everybody there is just constantly going. Whereas here it's like we take breaks here we actually work on our craft in a different way. It's not so competitive necessarily,
There's
but
definitely a bigger sense of community out here. It feels like,
Yeah.
you know, like we're all working together, you know, and I think that's the good part about being in the Bay Area.
Now, let me ask you a quick question. And you guys are really right now like some real cool, laid back individuals. Now I've seen your shows and stuff like, but you know, right now is it just like it's early to you? He's really, really, really cool right now. You know, is that just your personality?
yes, we just played a festival last week.
Okay.
And I befriended this dude named Jim, and he actually lives. I found out he lives like 5 minutes from me, not even.
Right.
And we would talk during the day, and everything was cool. And then all of a sudden, like we got on stage, and one of the first things I said was like, "Are you ready to fuck?" Just like really loud. And the next morning, he was like, "I was just like questioning who you were. Like you're very calm, but then you get on stage and you have like this persona." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a stage persona."
Exactly. No, I
The
understand
stage
that
brings it
very
out of you.
I understand it very clearly. So let's speak about the early years of your life. Preteen. What genre of music flooded your eardrums at that time?
For me, it was a lot of punk rock and reggae, you know, just grew up with that. And like I said, I skated a lot. So that was just like my life, just like thrashing around in punk rock. And honestly, like a lot different from the stuff I listen to now.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so infatuated by that. And now I'm like a little bit more all over the place with my music taste.
Got you.
And then for Tyler, I think it was.
For me, I had two older sisters, so 8 years and 12 years older than me. So my eldest sister got really into Green Day
Yeah.
at an early age. So like 924 Gilman Street and all this, you know, stuff around here. So definitely like punk rock was a huge thing. And then like as I got older and kind of found my own identity in my like mid teens, it was like bands like My Chemical Romance or The Academy Is or Fall Out Boy and like all that kind of emo genre.
Yeah.
That actually came from like kind of punk too. Cause like if you
Indeed.
listen to a lot of their younger stuff, they were like very heavily punk.
Right.
And so, yeah, definitely that.
No doubt. No doubt. So can you guys remember the moment as a teenager that music just really consumed you? So you had all these people, you know, you had, listen, you're listening to all this different music, but what really just grabbed you? What was that time where it was just like, I think this is something I can move towards that I really want to do?
I think for me, it was just like I literally would go over my dad's house and I would see this. He just had a guitar there, and I was just like, what is that? You know, like, what do you even do with that? You know?
Yeah.
And then I started middle school and I saw some of my buddies playing guitar, and I just became that kid that was like, what is that? How do you do that? Like, show me. And I just go over to all my friends' house and play their instruments. And then when I finally got one, I loved that I could do it like on my own and just like kind of work on this thing and then go out to my friends and then be like, check it out. Like I've been, you know, working on my craft by myself, and then show you this, and then go back home, work on it again, and then come back and be like better. And just like, and then the kind of jam aspect, like that I realized I could do it with anyone, you know,
Right.
like go to this house, play with this guy, like have this sound, and then go to this house. And it just like took over me. I was like, it just like, I don't know, I always bring back skating, but just like that freedom of like doing it however you want, wherever you want, and letting it be like an expression of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was, I saw My Chemical Romance. I didn't mean to see My Chemical Romance. It was Warped Tour. And I went to see this other band, and my sister and I like missed them. We saw like maybe their last song, and at the time Warped Tour was like a double stage section, so we were on this like fence line, and there was a stage to the left that was like eye level to us, so like we were eye level with the band. And I saw MCR like hit the stage, and the first song was super rowdy, everyone's moshing like super hard, and someone just like ate shit, and he stopped, Jardway stopped like the whole concert and was like, you gotta like help them up, help them stand up. Like you gotta help each other. Like you're all an audience. And from that moment I was like, I want to be a musician. But at the time I was playing jazz.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until like 8th grade when I was doing a talent show. And for some reason the PE teachers were the judges for the talent show, like to try out for the talent show.
Right.
And they were like, no, you got to make a band. You gotta form your own band. So I got like a couple of my friends together, and I was like, hey, we're going to make a band. And it was called Pandemonium. It was,
Pandemonium.
we were We were not that good, but it's okay. We grow.
So were you in a band before now?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the first band I started was called Castrated. It was like a death metal band. Totally outside my realm now, but just like I said, you just kind of hang out with all these kinds of people and just anyone that wanted to play. That was like my first band, and then
Listen,
the Irregulars.
Castrated. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. But so what brought that on? Why'd you guys go with that? Castrated.
It was just such heavy like grunge music. Like we had a song called "Shit Sandwich." Like it was like I don't have a girlfriend. Shit sandwich. Shit sandwich. So, but then I left that band and went to a more chill like ska reggae band called the Irregulars.
He's still in that band to this day.
The Irregulars.
We just play the festival together.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Now you said you were in well, that's a younger time. You were playing jazz. Was that just like a school band? You were in jazz like that?
My sister was a trombone player in her middle school, and I really liked the drummer at the time, and so my mom got me the same like teacher that he had basically, and I played jazz from 11 years old to like 23 roughly. I was a jazz drummer, and I mean I did like big band stuff, I did combo stuff, I did a bunch of like different things, and there was someone that early on in my like kind of rock playing, a drummer had left a band that I was in, and I was like, I'll just play rock drums, and this guy was like, you can't play rock drums, like you're a jazz drummer, like it doesn't sound the same, it doesn't sound good. And I was just kind of like, fuck you, like I can do whatever I want to do.
That's easy.
Of course, man. So let's speak about the beginning of Accidents at Sundown. So who's the architect or architects of the band?
I mean, I started it in my childhood home when the pandemic started. I wrote an entire album in 6 months because I was basically teaching from home. I was teaching music from home, and then I was on the side like recording all the stuff that I really wanted to try to get out. And Zach was one of the people that I called 10 different people to kind of put their own spin on certain songs and kind of be a part of it. And Zach played bass on a couple songs, and Zach is like now an OG member of Accidents at Sundown, because when I first asked anybody to be in the band, you actually have a picture right behind you of 3 people, and it's Zach and Sean and me, and that was the original formation of the band.
Got you.
Yeah.
3-piece.
Three.
Yeah, now we're a 5-piece.
Yeah,
we have
it started like we were in like a band together before this, and then that kind of like fell apart, but then he just got, I don't know, this dude is so fucking talented, bro. Like, so when he asked me to be in a band with him, I was like, oh, of course. There's no
real
way I'm saying
talented
no to
creator
that.
right here. This is the
Yeah,
real guy.
yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, those songs were crazy. The fact he did them all himself, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, I'll join, but damn, bro, I got to keep up to that.
So how many different instruments do you play?
I mean, just all the basic ones, guitar, bass, drums, keys, I'm sure I could.
Well, I'm just saying, Tyler, you did it. You did the whole thing by yourself. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I play throughout my life. I've played 7 instruments. I haven't kept up with like tuba and trumpet and stuff like that, but now I consistently play about like 4 or 5 instruments.
Gotcha.
And,
I just
I'll
asked
be hella humble about it too.
Yeah. When
like,
people say that, like the guy I work with, Matt Acevedo, that's in my band Plastic Catastrophe with Lord Nelson. Matt does all the music, and Matt is just amazing. So when you guys say that, I always say it's that Prince gene that you guys have, where you can just go out there and do all. And to me, that's amazing. It really is.
Love Prince.
I love Prince.
I love Prince. Yeah,
He's way more humble than Prince.
It just speaks to your talent. That's all, man. So that's a great thing. So when it comes to the music and lyrics, is it a creative committee or 1 or 2 band members writing and producing?
Well, I think it's gotten to the point where it's shifted to, we all kind of like, even with the original songs that he wrote, now we all kind of put our own little taste and like personality to it. But then now we've all like, a personal, like I'll write a song or have an idea, and then I just kind of throw it out there and everyone just grabs a hold of it. brings it back, and it's like, hey, this is what we can do with it. It's kind of crazy, actually. Like, I can have the smallest idea and just be like, I know if I show this guy, it'll turn from this to like this huge thing. Like, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, our latest single, 14 Minutes Until, we finished writing it. So 2 years ago, we had planned on writing an entire album and recording it all in a week. We took off a week from work. And the last song, the last day, Zach came up with this like riff on an acoustic guitar, and it was just very simplistic. And I was like, immediately, I'm like, I hear these like massive drums. Like we gotta record it. And we literally just like first time through played it, and it felt amazing.
It was
and
crazy.
It was magic, because that was the first time anybody else in the band had like brought something of their own, and they were like, what can we make out of this? And we made a song in less than an hour.
Yeah, I know. From being in my room the night before, just like I have the voice memo recording of just this little tiny like bow, bow, just hella chill. I was like, Tyler, I know you can see what's in my mind, like, let's do this.
But that's all it takes, though, man. When you're a creative, and you dudes are obviously creatives, and your music is amazing, man. There's no doubt about it. But
thank you so much.
It's just a good vibe, and I always tell people this: you guys allowing each other the freedom to create is a beautiful thing, because you don't know what's going to come from it, and just like you can build on his foundation, you can build on yours.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
that's what to me makes a great band, and you guys having that respect for each other, man. So no, I applaud you on that one, most definitely. Yeah,
a lot of respect.
I think it's definitely something that like has made our band different from other bands around here, especially because a lot of other bands in this area don't really work with each other on that aspect. Like, yeah, they will add something unique to a song that somebody else wrote, but they won't actually like sit down and write just a song together. Right. At least like 5 people won't do that typically. And like nowadays, all the new songs we write are like that. Someone came up with an idea or had a structure, and we were like, okay, let's make something out of it.
Yeah, there's almost nowhere we won't allow ourselves to go. We're very open-minded, and I don't know, we have a good set of communication skills in this band. And I'm in a couple bands, and he's been in a couple bands, and there's something unique about this one where we can talk through everything, and things just like, you got that smoothness, which is it's very, I'm grateful for that.
It definitely like comes from just trust in general.
Yeah.
My philosophy is like, because we all trust each other, there is nothing I won't try at least once. I will try anything at least once, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we'll fix it. But that trust just comes from trust in general, in every way.
All right, now you said everything at least once. You see all this stuff going on with Puff Daddy and stuff. You got to be careful, man.
Yeah, that's
Like an A, right?
that is
He said
About the parties and stuff like that.
okay. Musically, I will try anything once.
Hey, I'm leaving the party about 9:30.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh man. So I want to talk about this. This is something that I noticed enjoying your music, as I enjoyed your music. So I love the usage of piano in your music. So who was it that said, let's incorporate piano in the music?
I mean, from the beginning, I'm a composer, or I pride myself as a composer for the most part. So like with the first album, I knew there needed to be a totally different array of instruments. It's not just drums, bass, and guitar. So I remember I did MIDI piano, but then I would say a year later when Sean had a baby and Sean left the band, unfortunately. Sean's an amazing bass player, amazing person in general.
He's a good guy.
Such a good dude. Still friends to this day. And we ended up bringing in Max, whom you see on the left side of me in the straight jacket. Mm-hmm. And Max plays keys. Well, he actually learned keys for accidents.
He's a saxophone player.
Yeah, because he's a tenor sax player. So, and he does both in the band now. He does tenor sax.
That role on. He literally bought a keyboard, and next practice was like, I got it.
Yeah, like literally the night of our first show together, he went out and bought a keyboard, brought it in the box in the same packaging to the gig and everything. Wow. And was like, we're gonna play this.
And listen, that's confidence, but that's awesome, man. Not everybody can do that, man.
No, he's such a badass, because like every time I hear him play, it's just like he just continues to get better and better and better. And now he's at this point where he's making insanely cool piano intros to our songs. And like we just put out a live video from that festival, and you can hear it on there. It's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
so
like
cool.
the beginning of 14 minutes till just that. Like, dude.
Once again, I think the piano sound is an amazing sound. It just does
Oh, yeah.
something to me. It makes me feel a certain way. And so when I'm hearing it and how you guys have incorporated it, I was just like, that shit is dope, motherfucker.
Hey,
I just love
that's
the way
cool.
it makes me feel, man. So you guys put it in the right places. It's there, and I love it, man. So
I'm
yeah.
glad you noticed it. That's cool.
Yeah, indeed. Nah, man. Listen, I'm going out there. I'm going out there to your catalog, and I'm going to listen. So as I'm writing these questions and stuff, I'm out there really listening. You know, I'm not just out here just to bullshit you. No, I want to have a real conversation with you. You know, this is less of an interview, it's a conversation, but I want to know more about you. You know, yeah, I might be selfish about this, you know, especially when I hear good music. So that's just me, man. So, but what you guys have is great, and I enjoyed it most definitely.
Very cool. Thanks.
Super appreciated.
Yeah, seriously.
So what has been the hardest part of keeping this great band together? You say you lost Sean. Yeah, what's the hardest part? Or is it not hard at all?
Yeah, I almost want to say it's the easiest thing in the world. Like,
Awesome.
I don't know. We just every day we talk every day and constantly are just like stoking each other's flame. You know,
Yes.
like it's just the second. I don't know. It's weird. It's just because we all want it so bad,
Right.
and that's another thing I noticed with all these other bands I'm in. It's like the level at which we want it. There's like we just have this, you know, determination that we will never stop. Like we all look at each other and we're like, never giving up, right? Like fucking don't do it, you know? And we're like, no, I would never, you know? And to have like 5 guys that feel the same way is like, it's empowering, dude. Like
That is
every day.
awesome, man. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
it's I mean, you know, fingers crossed, but like, yeah, so far it's only gotten easier and stronger and more like sure, you know, like of what we're doing. You know, I'll do this till the day I fucking die.
Oh, totally. And it's like definitely thanks to like the progress that we see every single time we get together. You know, it just makes us want to do it even more and continue to forward. And I think the only reason Sean really left was, I mean, his life was kind of changing. He was having a baby, and it was very kind of sudden and out of nowhere. So, I mean, that's the only thing that's really happened. But I think for the most part, we all will find a way to make it work no matter what.
Yeah, and like our other guitar player, Dave, it's like he came to one of our shows and just was like losing his shit, like singing all the songs and jumping around. We're like, who the fuck is that guy? Like,
So hard.
next thing you know, comes our next practice and Dave is at practice. And he knew all the songs, top to bottom, had all these cool new parts. And it was like, how the fuck are we so lucky to like, you know, like everyone that's joined is just like, it was just seamless, like, you know, transitioned perfectly. It was like, wow, it's like most other bands, you have someone join, you're like, you're kind of messing that part up or, you know, whatever. But it's like to have someone show up just equally determined. It was like, wow, it's like, you know, kind of meant to be thing happens a lot with us.
Yeah. And it was cool to like see Dave at that show because I had worked with Dave like 6 or 7 years prior, and we recorded an album for one of our friends, our mutual friends, who's getting married this year. And yeah, just to see Dave like headbanging throughout the entire show, just like going wild. And then I had said like expect a phone call from me, and sure enough, like the next day I texted him, I'm like, do you want to join the band? Like you got to do this. And yeah, you know, it as much as we have like he's done good stuff for us, I know that we've done good stuff for him because like he had just went through a terrible like breakup of like 10 years, and
Wow.
he was like, I don't know where I was gonna be like in that moment. Like I just moved in with my parents again, and we like talk about this all the time because Dave and I carpool to practice every week. And so he was like, yeah, I didn't know where I was gonna be, and then like you invited me into this, and like we created this family structure of just like
love that guy.
being together. And yeah, Dave has like the best fucking attitude out of it. Now, we all have like really good attitudes, but Dave is just like a bright light, even if he looks like he's a badass, just like shredding the whole time. Like he has the best heart.
Yeah, and he's like got a career and shit too, and he's just all the time like he's like an engineer, you know, and he's just like I'll fucking drop that shit right now. Like, band all the way. I'm like, respect. Like, fuck yeah.
Well, like I like to say this right here. You said he's an engineer.
Yeah.
So let me keep it real what that is. That engineer thing, and I'm gonna call it a thing, is his hobby that pays the bills.
Exactly.
His music is his job.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of people be like, what are you talking about? I was like, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, I know where my passion is.
Yeah, it's
But
cool.
I know what I need to do to pay those bills also. So let's keep it 100. But but
Yeah.
listen,
Some
just
people
like he
gotta
said,
flip.
he'll drop, man. Woo-wee.
Once the
Hold on,
music actually starts
Let me
making
lower
us
my
money.
tones just in case my wife hears this. But nah, man, it's all beautiful, man. So, my brothers, your debut album, Us Against the Underworld, is a great
Underworld.
listen. How much do you feel you've grown musically, lyrically, and mentally in comparison to your latest release, 14 Minutes Until?
I think that we could re-record that entire first album and it wouldn't even be the same anymore.
would be so
Like
different.
it would be so much like harder and punchier and everything else.
Well, I think the first thing is like most of that was like, a lot of Tyler and like an amalgamation of, like he said, reaching out to a bunch of different musicians and like kind of, joining in on that. But now it's like, these songs are recorded and played by all of us, so it's like you listen to 14 minutes and it has like all of us in it, all of our like our tastes and our style. Whereas before it was a little more like mostly Tyler's like, mind and stuff in that. And I think that's just one way that it's grown. And obviously we've gotten closer and, we got a plan for a second album coming up. So you'll see the difference there soon enough.
Still growing, huh?
Always. I think like the difference between the album and 14 Minutes Until is just like how someone said to me the other day, like they were watching our live show and they hadn't seen us in years since Sean was in the band, and they were like, wow, you guys are so like big, like the sound is much wider.
Yes.
The guitars are a lot heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that, the kind of just we've dialed in like what we really wanted the tone and the tonality of like everything to be. Finally, it took a while to do that, and now we're there. So,
But you got to, you know what though, man, when you look at the older stuff, you got to just really respect it, because that's usually your most raw and authentic, before you get polished up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You learn
Sure.
more, of course, but you can go back and listen to that stuff. Because I go back sometimes and I was like, damn, did I write that? Did I say that? Where was my mind when I wrote that? That's pretty unbelievable. I never go back and say like that sucked, because I always think about it so deeply. But I know that we, being creatives, when we create that at that time, we're somewhere where something's going on that makes us feel that way. So I just appreciate it. And so when you say what you're saying, it's from your perspective, but I'm listening to it, like, nah, man, that's really good, man.
I love that first album so much. Those songs have like a very deep meaning, every one of them.
I look at albums and music in general, especially creating music, as time capsules to me. Like that album to me is like it went from my childhood bedroom in my parents' house to moving in with my wife and like actually mixing and working with another dude in LA who he had just moved from San Jose to LA, and he was like mixing it. And it's just like, it's a whole time period of kind of like being uncomfortable and wanting to like push harder than I could push harder than I was capable of pushing at the time. Yeah. And now like we're here like 4 or 5 years later, or however long it's been, and we're pushing even harder than then. So it's like we just surrounded ourselves with the right people to continue doing what we want to do.
Well, so let me ask this, Zach, what does Tyler bring to this band that is unlike anything else? What is, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Yeah. What is it about him that makes him so great to be in a band with him?
Oh man, this could be the whole podcast right here, dude. This man brings everything, unstoppable force. Like he's just every day, pushing the threshold. Just when you think we can't get any more, he's just like, boom, new idea. Boom, we're doing this. Like he's literally the driving force behind accidents. And like you said, it's like fearless leader. We trust this man. Like anything he says, we're like, let's fucking go. You know, whatever you said, you know, Puff Daddy. None of that's going down, you know, bro. Fucking this guy, like he's so creative, and it's like I don't know. And like when you tell him something, he just like he listens, and he like it's very cool to have somebody that's on your side and determined, and like just like I'm telling you, every day, every single day, he's like, this is what we're doing. And you're like, whoa, couldn't even have thought of that, you know, myself. And it's like you almost can't see it sometimes, and then he makes you see like, you know, the way out and where it's gonna go. And it's weird. I feel like, you know, someone's in his brain like I don't know how he does this stuff. It's like he knows something that we don't know, and I don't know how he knows it.
He's the Zen man, the Zen master, man.
Dude, and he's always so calm. It's crazy. Like ask anybody, like they'll be like, Tyler is the nicest, kindest, most caring person to everyone in the world. It's crazy.
Tyler, I want you to do the same thing with Zach. I want you to tell me about him, and before I say what I'm going to say. Okay?
Dude. Zach is. I've gotten to know Zach like better and better and better every single year. I feel like there's different transformations of Zach and how coming from like the beginning of accidents, right? When we were putting on these like small little shows, and I remember being in the car with Zach, and I'm like, hey, you gotta like talk to the crowd. You gotta engage the crowd. We gotta do this more and really try to get them, you know, into what we're doing and everything. And Zach was at the time like kind of hesitant to do that. He's like, I don't think I can do that. And there's a part of a song that I'm like, okay, Zach's gonna say this, Sean's gonna say that, and then I'm gonna do the next part. And it was really difficult to do. And just watching Zach continue to progress and get more confident and have even different ideas. And it's like it's all of us like forming together to like create these ideas. But like Zach's a fucking genius too. Like he creates insanely cool guitar parts. He brings energy to everything he does. He knows how to hype people up. He knows, I mean, he works at a wedding venue. Like he is a hype man. This is Zach. So Zach is just super special because he always has a good attitude. He always puts his best foot forward every single time. Like even when he's tired, he is there and still working no matter what. Such a hard worker. So yeah, I always appreciate his guidance and everything.
Look at the love, man. That's what I'm all about. Love, man. It's love, man. That's what it is.
Totally.
I feel you. Okay, so now there's 3 other dudes in the band. So, you know, take as much time as you want to. Let's talk about those other dudes. Tell me what they bring to the band.
Who do you want to take?
Well, Dave.
Yeah, you go there.
You know, like I said, showed up at our show, rocking out, and then
I'm so visual. I see it. I see him wilding out. It's beautiful.
Dave, dude, yeah, he gets down like I don't know. Dave is he's pure. Like I don't know how to explain him, but he just like he's always smiling. He's always laughing. Which I don't know if you notice or know this, but like to have someone around that laughs at everything you say it's pretty awesome. Like it literally brightens the whole mood of anything. Like you could say the dumbest joke.
That's what people tell me. So I guess that's what's up.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Like, you know, you say the lamest joke and then everyone doesn't laugh and then Dave's like on the floor rolling laughing and you're like,
he's probably visual like me because I see it. And people always like, why are you laughing so hard? I said, shit, I see it. It's crazy to me. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Dave definitely has that attitude. Always comes in with a smile. He always obviously has his parts like down to a T, and anything he writes is you're just like, wow, he just puts the best stuff on top. So like to have him in our corner is, you know, it's just like, you know, fucking Powerpuff Girls over here, dude.
Indeed.
And then you can take.
Dave. He's just, I don't know, he's a special soul. Like sometimes nowadays he's like an overthinker, and I've grown to understand and like respect that in a whole different light, because he'll overthink something and we'll actually like be able to talk about it and communicate about it. a lot of the times when people like overthink, I've noticed like there's like an argument somehow behind it, and I'm like, it's okay. Like we will literally just talk this out and we'll figure it out, and typically we come to some kind of like form of agreement of like it's gonna be fine.
Awesome.
Which is cool. Max, the tenor sax and pianist. Max just constantly pushes himself in every way to become better at whatever craft he's doing. You know, at the festival we just played, I got off stage and the first thing one of our friends was like, I've never heard Zach or Max play like that.
Right.
Tenor sax like that. And it's funny because he's in a band with him where Max is playing tenor sax too. And I'm like, yeah, I never heard him play like that because he played something totally off the cuff that just sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think Max really brings the kind of like, what do I want to say?
He's the edginess.
Yeah. He's definitely like he wants to be like kind of dark and mysterious,
Yeah.
which I totally understand. And I think it's kind of cool, but he kind of brings
my
that
whole
like
life. I'm
Zappa.
dark and mysterious. That's my whole life.
He brings that kind of like Zappa influence into our rock and like metal. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And once again, just a composer, like he is able to compose things and we're able to work together. Sometimes something doesn't work and I'm like, hey, maybe we need to like work on that section of the song and really perfect it and make it build instead of, you know, kind of get quiet or whatever it is. So,
And then next practice, he's on it.
yeah, he's so receptive.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Mark is like a rock. He's like just solid dude. Like, you know, he's got his response. Like he's always very sure of like everything he says and does. It's like, you know, boom, this is it. This is how I feel about it. Like, you know, boom. And it's always like, you know, on it too. Like he's very smart and he's a good
honest
listener. Yeah, he's super honest. Like he's like one of those guys that like he won't beat around any bush. He'll just tell you exactly how it is. And you're like, whoa. But then you're like, oh, well, I guess that's, you know, you're not wrong. Like it's we all kind of contribute that, like the thing that the band needs, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool how like so many different personalities and vibes can like really still work together. And I think it's just that openness and, like I said earlier, trust. I think it's just that.
That's why I asked the question, because there's so many people that I've spoken with bands, and it's just like so many different players have come and gone, you know, and we know that life fucks up the best plan. We know that, you know, you got to live. Just like you said, Sean had a child. I mean, things happen. And so, you know, you deal with them. But you guys just listening to you, it's like you really have a family, and that's good.
Totally.
And then it seems like you have a great team behind you also. And, you know, as talking with Corey Lowry, you know, Corey was just like, man, you got to have that team. Lord, you got to have that team. And it's just like, I understand it. So, you know, we can't do everything by ourselves, even though sometimes we would like to. But now I just really get that feeling of what you guys are and who you are. And that's a great thing, man. It really is.
Yeah, super grateful.
Yeah, indeed. So now I'm going to go over here for a second. What is the best weed in California?
Dude, it's all good. Like it's you can't find bad weed. It's crazy. Like it's too good. Like you have to. The challenge is to find bad weed, because you're like, I don't want to be that high. You know, like I'm trying to just be chill about it.
I asked that question, man, because listen, I'm a cornball, man. I'm straight edge as they come, man. I do nothing, but everybody I know, they're there. So I just had to ask a question.
Like if you leave California to see anybody, they're like, please bring me weed from California.
Yeah, I can think about it at Ryan's wedding, man. I was just like, man, everybody is really enjoying themselves, man. It was awesome.
All toked up.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, were you gonna say something? I didn't cut you off. You gonna say something, Tyler?
Oh, I was just saying they're all toked up. They're all feeling it, dude.
Blitzkrieg Bob.
Not gonna lie though, like Dave on a way to a rehearsal, he like gave me this like little pen thing, and it's called cream of the crop. And for some reason, this one specific strand of weed just like made me hear music in a different way.
Right.
And it was so like I was so focused. Like I tuned my drums for 20 minutes that day, and they sounded the best they ever sounded. And like that night, I went home, and we had just like tried out a song, and I mixed the song, and it sounded the best I had ever mixed. And I'm like,
Which one was that?
I wish I could just like always have this, and you can't buy it anymore. So I'm like, fuck it. It's okay.
So listen, I got to roll with this, right? So I tell everybody that music is my drug. Music makes me feel something. I don't know what it is. I don't even want to be around people sometimes. I just get in my vehicle and I turn that music up as loud as I want to, especially when Matt sends me a new song to write to. And I just listen to the music and the sonics of it, and it just does something to me. I'm telling you, I'm in another
It's pretty
place.
cool.
I am in another world when it comes to music. And I know a lot of people can't understand it. I'm pretty sure you guys do. But a lot of people can't understand it. They're like, man, what are you you're going to listen to that song 50 times? I was just like, you don't understand what it's doing to me. And, they're just looking at me crazy. So I've had like many people say what you just said. They were like, well, when I was on this, my mind was in a different place and I was more open to it. So I was in a band called No Power, No Crown. And so every time we would go, they lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so I drive up and we're in the studio and they're all, man, they are on it. Here I am just looking and just seeing them be so open. And then mentally, they just started talking about things. And here I am, man. I just sit there and I'm listening. And I'm like, because we're going, whether it be politics, religion, or whatever, they're going into the deepest. They're touching things. And I'm just like, wow, is that where you are, man? But here I am. The music does that to me, though. So, I judge nobody, man. Whatever's going to get you there is love. Music does it for me.
Well, I think of that as it's like, emotional intelligence in a way. Like, you think about when you're driving and you put on a song, like, exactly what song to put on to pull out a feeling that you want to feel. And that's like, that's like an intuition that you don't realize that you're even doing in that moment. You're like, I feel this way and this song will pull that out of me. Like to know that this band, like, oh, Metallica right now is going to like hype me up or like get me through this mood, or like this, sad, slow song by like Elton John or something is going to make me like cry a little bit or whatever. It's like every time you listen to music, it's like showing a sign of like your like, emotional intelligence, like your inner workings. You're able to hear a song and that pulls it out of you. And I think
I like that.
That's
I'm
pretty
to
cool.
use that. It's emotional intelligence. I've been trying to tell these people for the longest time.
No, it's cool. Being a musician is awesome. Like to be able to know
and
how
I always
to
say
like,
that music is a time machine, man. Just like you were speaking, it just grabs you and it takes you back to something. Like it might take you back to your childhood. It might, there's plenty of times that I'm driving and I'm thinking, my mom passed many years ago and I'm thinking about my mom. It brings tears to my eyes because I'm right back there to where she's hugging me or telling me something, the same.
100%.
Listen, music is just the most beautiful thing in the world, man. I can't get enough of it, man. It's just unbelievable.
It is.
Thank God. Thank God for music, dude. Like, I'm so happy it's here.
Music is life.
And like I wrote an EDM song. I do that too. And I wrote a song called Music Is My Wife. Music is my life, lover. And how you doing, young lady?
Hey.
And how you doing, young lady?
I heard you talking about your mama and you just had to hug her. So here's Zachariah's mama, my Tyler.
And grandmother. 3 generations of talent here.
Yes, ma'am. Look at it. And listen, and as beautiful as can be, indeed.
Thank you. Have a
We're
great
going to
day.
go off and run.
Thank you for coming in.
Snoop Dogg, California Rosé. We out. We not only got good weed, we got good wine in California.
Yes, indeed. Awesome. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
There's our life force right there.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that is great, man.
Those
That's
two
what
people keep us
needed.
going.
That's beautiful. Hey, listen, that's great. I love that, man. I love that. So now the wine. What's up with the wine?
It's Snoop Dogg's wine.
Oh, that was Snoop Dogg's wine. I was just like, I was like, am I seeing one of you guys' faces on there? I was just like, man, these guys are going in, man.
No, dude. Apparently, Snoop Dogg's rosé is really good. They love it. Yeah.
Really? Hey, man, California, man. California.
Yeah, no,
hey, man, that was great, man. Once again, thank them for that, man. That was beautiful.
Oh, I
really,
thank them
seriously.
for everything.
Awesome.
They push us. They're great.
Yeah, their belief.
You should have seen my mom. She was front and center at that festival we played, just rocking her ass off, dude.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. So, With the present state of music being what it is, what's better to you guys, singles, EPs, or albums?
It's tough. Like, I mean, singles are good because you just get like kind of like a constant flow of like, a new song, and then you don't get like burnt out by like a whole album or whatever.
All right.
EPs are cool because once again, they're short. It's like, something you won't get like you get to hear it all and not miss nothing.
Right.
But I think if it's a good album, it'll change your life, and it'll like just be the coolest. It's like a experience or a journey, and that's like the best part about an album.
I think it also like it depends on like the business side of things. At least I think it depends on who you're working with. Are you working with a bigger name label or even just like a medium tier label that's going to like be able to push whatever you're putting out to the highest level essentially? Because if you're not, then I guess singles to me seem like the better way to go, because you're not shooting your shot all at once essentially, and you're kind of like planning it all out as you go.
Right.
So maybe you can gain more traction towards the album with singles. So yeah, it's difficult. I think the market of David Bowie said it best. David Bowie said it back in like what, the 70s, 80s. He said music is going to be like running water, and I think we got to that time now, because we're in Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that stuff. Literally, it's so easy just to like go out and like listen to whatever you want. But every single day, like millions of songs are being uploaded to all these platforms. So it's like,
That's right.
how can you be the loudest person on that platform?
Right.
Right? It's like you need some money, or you need somebody backing you, something to help you get there. Because if not, then nobody's going to ever hear it.
That's what it is now. It really is. How much money does it cost to break a song? And I'm talking to all these people, and I'm just like, wow. We know we do what we do because we love it so much. But that's the that business part of it, that money part of it.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Once again, I'm a straight edge dude. I'm not out there doing improper things to get money. So we do what we do because we really love it.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, I definitely ain't doing anything I don't want to do for money. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, I like my life. I have no plans on taking penitentiary chances at all. At all. I'm telling you, I'm in the house most of the time, trying to get back out there to do some stuff, but I'm good. I really am. So let me ask you this. What does success look like to you guys?
Kind of like, there's obviously the like grand scheme of success, the bigger scheme of like being very successful musicians that tour the world and make money from it. And we get to play for like, a lot of people and inspire them. And, that's kind of like the main thing. But to me, I don't know. It's like, it already feels like this is it, like this is the best part, like even if that all happens, this is still the best part, like playing music with your friends. And even if there's 5 people in the crowd, watching them smile and jump around your music, it's like, it just warms your heart. And you're like, oh yeah, I'll do this forever for sure. No matter what. And like the success is, we got it, just having a family, that's the success. And, to me at least, just being creative with your friends and goofing around and experiencing new things every week, like that's awesome.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I would agree.
You agree?
I think
you co-sign that?
Yeah, I co-sign that for sure. I would say like when I can quit my day job, that is the level of success I would like to get
that'd
to
be
for
cool.
sure. Like
once again, when you can quit your hobby, bro.
Exactly, when I quit my hobby, yeah, and like being able to, like, I hope one day that we can get to such a level where we can quit our hobbies, but also we can support the people around us, like Zach's mother and grandmother. Like being able to help everybody else around us kind of be successful too,
of course, and not struggle in any way. I think that's a constant thing, because everybody always talks about the starving musician and all that stuff, and it's like, thankfully we have such a team and community around us, and family and friends that like would never let us feel that way. That's great.
So that's great. Yeah,
I love that. So, real question here also: what makes Accidents at Sundown a must watch and see?
Such a good question.
Yeah, I want you to get on your soapbox
I
now.
shoulda-
Like,
I
yo,
shoulda-
man, we're the greatest ever, man.
I should have
What you
prepared.
talking about, man? We are.
I would say like what you said in the beginning, like we kind of fuse like some type of like older rock with modern day rock. I would say that we have the musicianship and skill level of, I've said this recently, musicianship and skill level of like Foo Fighters. Like we're able to play anything that Foo Fighters plays, we can totally play.
Got you.
But also we have like the stylistic choice of like My Chemical Romance or these kind of like modern emo bands. And so I think that makes us different. And I think there's a lot of bands kind of in a similar wheelhouse, but there's bands that just don't do it the same way that we do it. Like we don't need to be on a click all the time. We can totally play live and still be on the money and kind of ebb and flow with the crowd. You know, there's, especially to our live show, like we have added so many things like, you know, transition tracks even that kind of pull the crowd in. And it talks about like our kind of childhood, like going to concerts, how concerts made us feel alive, made us feel free.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting fucking F's in school and my mom would take me to a concert and I'd forget about all those F's. I was like, I'm at this concert and I'm living right now and experiencing something. And she always kind of considered it like master classes, going to concerts. And yeah, I think that's like what we aim to kind of give people is like a little outlet, feel a little freedom, forget about all the shit that's going on in your life. Let's just be here in this moment. And stuff like that just really sets us apart. We don't want to just play music in bars. We want to play music so people see the music. We want to play music for people that want to see it. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I love
it's
that.
a
I got goosebumps you saying that, man. I love that, man. Great.
Hell yeah. It's a privilege to be able to create a space of that kind of freedom and just like carefree environment where, like, I don't know, that's what I've always loved about a concert is like you can go to a concert and any person next to you, around you that you look at, it's your friend, you know, now.
Yeah.
Like you can scream and shout and they're just like, yeah, that's awesome. Fuck yeah. You know, like, and to be able to create that environment for people is a privilege. And it's like that. It's a full circle always, you know, like them reacting makes you react. And it's just a back and forth.
Nothing like it, man.
There's,
I'm telling you,
there's literally
I got
nothing
goosebumps
like
you
it.
guys saying that, man, because you just escaped for a while. You know,
Mhm.
you escape for those few hours and you don't have to worry about anything else except enjoying yourself. And I
Yeah.
always think that, you know, when you find the smallest thing that makes you feel good, it can carry you so much further down the way. You might be having
Yeah.
a bad day, but then somebody makes you laugh for about 5 minutes or so. That takes you so much beyond, you know. So, you know, state of mind, man. So, I feel you, man. I really do. So, what can we expect from Accidents at Sundown for the remainder of 2024?
Hopefully, you know, new music for sure. And just a lot of growth. Like we're a growth mindset oriented band where we just continue to go like this. We've never had this moment. It's just been like this since we
Awesome.
started. So
Yeah.
our live show gets bigger and better and our music gets tighter and punchier, and it's just going to continue to do that to where we'll be unstoppable.
Awesome.
Unstoppable.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like we were in the talks of this past week of writing, or not really writing. We already have basically 13 songs.
Mm-hmm.
We have more than that, but like we have 13 solid songs that we're like, this could easily be an album. So
Right.
we're definitely going to start working on that in the next couple weeks here.
Yeah, up
And
in the studio.
yeah, get in the studio and really just lay it all out.
Awesome, man.
And then also just like, I mean, business wise, you got to constantly reevaluate everyone you're working with and be like, okay, are they pushing us forward? Are they not pushing us forward? You know, where do we need to go to get pushed forward essentially? Because I'm the kind of person that's like, if anything is stagnant for even a week, if something is stagnant and doesn't feel like it's moving forward, then it's not good enough for me. Kind of.
Yeah, he's
I'm like,
he's on that.
I'm
too.
just going to like push forward through this or get rid of this person because it's just they're not pushing us the way they need to.
Yeah, growth mindset for sure. over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. And once again, you guys are doing it. You have a great sound. I think you bring in so many different elements that it just creates that whole. And I've said this to a lot of people. I remember Quincy Jones talking with Chuck D from Public Enemy, and Quincy Jones said, "You take something from 10 bands that you love, And when you take those 10 things and put them all, incorporate them, you'll have your own sound. It'll just be your sound. And so, you guys do well of creating your sound, and it
Thank you.
And it just feels good. So just like I said, man, you have a lot of elements in there that are great, and nothing sounds like it shouldn't be there. Everything sounds like it should be right there. So I appreciate that. So
we appreciate you.
No, that's all love. So the last question is, what was the last song you guys listened to?
Well, I was at a concert last night, so whatever last song he played, I don't know if you know Jacob Collier, but it was like he played like 4 songs kind of back to back, but Time Alone with You by Jacob Collier, I guess you could say.
Time Alone with You, Jacob Collier.
Yeah, mine was on the ride here. I was listening to Paramore, and it was Fences actually came on, and which is funny because what month is this? This is May. So like 6-7 months ago, we had a drummer, a different drummer for the band, because I typically play drums and I lead sing. Right. But we had brought in another drummer, so I got to actually just work on my vocals for a while, and we played Fences live, and it was the hardest song to sing for a male singer because it's Paramore. But I came on in the car, and it just, I don't know, songs like that kind of just propel me forward in my everyday life. I hear that song and I'm like, I just want to keep going. I want to like find the next thing I need to do to actually get it done and propel us forward. So yeah.
Oh, awesome, man. I always like
to ask
the question because we never know, being musicians, you never know what we're listening to,
Yeah, what was the last song
I
you
know
listened
I'm
to?
everywhere. That's why I always like to ask that question, because you might bring something that I've never heard that I want to go listen to, So that's why I asked that question of you guys. So, hey, man, a great time, great conversation. Were you going to say something? Sorry.
I was going to say, what was the last song you listened to?
You're a wild dude. Something from Accident.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Right there. 14 minutes until. I'm telling
Let's
y'all.
go.
And listen, once again, great song. I like that. I like what you put me on the spot. That's good, man. Ladies and gentlemen, they just tried to play me, but it's all love.
I just want to know.
He got me in the beginning though. He was like sitting still, so I thought it was frozen, and I'm looking at him. Yeah,
He got you like that.
really good.
Well, he said, hold on a second, let me get, so I can hear you. So I said, just don't move. Just look. And then he started talking. I was just like, don't move yet. Don't move. He's like, can you hear me? It's all love. I'll edit that out, but it's all love.
I love it. No, I love it.
Good.
I thought it was great.
Yes, indeed. So, gentlemen, the floor is yours. Please let these people know. Let all the amazing fans and people who watch and listen know where they can check you guys out and experience Accidents at Sundown.
Check us out on Spotify under Accidents at Sundown. Definitely. YouTube, Accidents at Sundown. For some reason, we got to figure out the YouTube thing, because right now there's like Accidents at Sundown on YouTube that you can listen to our music, and then there's like an actual page where you can see all our videos and stuff like that. But check it all out. We're pretty much anywhere you get your music. And come to
check out our Instagram too. We have a plethora of just goofy videos that we make every day.
Yeah, we're gonna get on that TikTok a lot more and YouTube too. So
hopefully TikTok still stays around, man. TikTok is you guys need to make sure you do that also.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It ended up being more fun than we thought it would be. So.
Yeah, it did. Well, my brothers, man, I really appreciate you. You guys are welcome anytime. We're family, man, and of course, Distilled Entertainment, man. Those dudes over there are amazing guys, man, and I know they're going to continue to push you guys forward to handle.
Awesome, dude.
It was all love, man. So once again, I'm honored that you shared some of your priceless time with me, man. Precious.
Likewise. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you and all the kind words and great questions, man.
Maybe
honest, man, the Lord can be nothing but.
Hey, we got to get you at one of our shows to at our show to introduce us. That was the best freaking intro ever.
And listen, I got you, man. There's nothing to it. Listen, just like I told Ryan, all you got to do is hit me up. He knows there's nothing to it, man. We're family for life, man. All
right, man.
We're good. That's my brother.
One love, dude.
Dude, hell yeah.
All right, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It is the big guy with the big show, the Lord Nelson, that is. Yes, indeed. From the podcast Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS network with Five Royals Entertainment with these two unbelievable musicians. Woo! These are some great guys, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't lie to you. We've got Tyler and Zach from the amazing band At Sundown. Yo. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
One love.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Where are you? Where did you go? I'm losing my mind, face deep in the dough. I've lost all faith there. There's no glamour. I'm beginning to stammer from the solitude of life. I'm so sick and so bored, living in such joy that the devil's bestowed upon me. Will start this off right with a little bit of fright? If you are please scream. Let us start this story off with a bang. Life is worrying about our loved ones dying. Do you know why I've lost everyone close to me? So I must pay my respect properly. What a pity, baby. I left a rose for you. A little bit of blood for the dead and the gone. But just wait, they're coming soon. God had nothing to do with this. I live in thought tonight. The beat of our drum isn't consistent with what you were thinking. We can still rock the shit out of there. What a pity, baby. I left a rose for you. A little bit of blood for the dead and the gone. But just right there, coming I'm not a saint, I'm not your patron. I'm your messenger. I'm unholy, but so are you. I'm not a thief or a liar. I preach to the choir. How many bodies must I accrue? And when the ground opens up, is it you that I trust? What a pity, baby. I left a rose for you. A little bit of blood for the dead and the gone. But just wait, they're coming soon. What a pity, baby. I left a rose for you. A little bit of blood for the dead and the gone. But just right there, coming
Nelson, that is.